Africans that live in the diaspora, there is absolutely no excuse for us eating flesh. No excuse. Because we have the potential in the diaspora to gain and have whatever we need to eat. I know, bearing in mind economics is not easy for some people, but there's always a vegetarian alternative to a meat thing. Where there are opportunities to be vegetarian, to be vegan outside of the continent of Africa. If you are, for example, in the continent of Africa, say you're a Maasai, and your tradition is to drink milk and occasionally eat the flesh of your cattle, that's different. That's a tradition within your people. Okay, we'll accept that. Right. And some other people from their traditions, because those traditions have been in existence for a long period of time, we might say, okay, those traditions, let's examine that, let's see that. But outside of those specific reasons, Africans should move towards a vegetarian, vegan based diet. In fact, all human beings should actually move towards a vegetarian, because the flesh of animals isn't a natural thing for human beings to be consuming. I know that at a certain point in our evolution, we may have started eating carcasses, perhaps because we became hunters and we felt that as hunters we ought to eat the flesh of the animal that we killed. But even when we did do that, that wasn't flesh every single day of the week. That was flesh once every 2 months or once every 3 months at a festival or a celebration, communing around with freshly killed animal that's killed as we eat it there and then. Not something that had been living in a fridge for 2 months. You know, that's different. We're often eating for comfort's sake, to make ourselves feel better. Not because we're even hungry, and not because we need it. And we're not eating to live, we're not eating the things that we need to eat to live. In the diaspora, especially in colder environments such as Britain, the prime things that we're deficient in are calcium, vitamin D3 and vitamin B12. Therefore, that which we are eating needs to be rich in calcium, D3 and vitamin B12, absence of the sun. But that's not what we're eating. We're often eating denatured, denurtured, lacking in vitamin, lacking in mineral food. McDonald's, KFC, all that kind of stuff, junk food. And then sitting on top of it, yard food, that we might then say is black food, soul food, which isn't food for the soul. And then classifying all of that stuff which we've just eaten as stuff that black people eat. And then when we get our cancers and our colon cancer and our prostate cancers and all our other diabetes and obesity and all the other problems that are manifest in people of African descent in the diaspora, we then claim, oh, we don't know how we got those things. It's because we're living in Europe. No, it's because you're eating this muck, why you've got it. So I'm not in favor of following an eating practice simply because it is tradition per se. I'm interested in exploring all traditions to see how they work in the 21st century. And I'm interested in following those practices that work. I think that all people should move towards a vegetarian, vegan diet, even if not vegan, at least vegetarian diet. I think for people of African descent it's fundamentally important. I don't think there's much excuse when you're in the diaspora. I can see some excuses for people who've lived in a very particular setting with a particular national identity based on particular diet for them to continue aspects of that diet. I can understand that. Outside of that, I don't think there's any excuse. Africanus.